In this video, I'll be explaining why PBL is worth it. First off, a bit of background about me. I've been using full PBL for over a year now, and I average about low 8 on a good day. I'm also currently 3rd in North America for Square One, as well as the 2nd place US National Champion. So first off, what is PBL? PBL stands for Permute Both Layers and is best known in 2x2. However, with Square One, it's much more complex. It combines CP and EP into one step, like this. All of this adds up to 967 cases for PBL. This number might be discouraging to many solvers, as it's so many algs, even more than sets like ZBL. However, there's a pretty nice way to reduce the number of algs you need to learn. So instead of solving every case with 1 alg, you're going to solve most cases with 2 algs. So for example, in this case, 1 alg, 2 algs to solve the PBL. So what makes this different from CP-EP? Sometimes there is no difference, and the best solution is just to do CP and then EP. Most of the time, however, you would end up using a combination of 2 short algorithms, each being 3 to 6 slices long. Many might doubt the viability of this method for several reasons, but here's why this method is good. First off, there's much less memorization. There's about maybe 70 or so algorithms that you have to memorize, but remember that a ton of these are just mirrors of each other. A lot of them are algorithms that you already know, like JJ. A lot of them are extremely similar, so if you do JJ, but if you modify it a tiny little bit, that does different PBL. And there are really short algorithms that are easy to memorize, and all of them have really easy patterns that help you memorize the alg. Secondly, this method is very move efficient. The most known 2-alg method is CP then EP, which could be good at some times. However, with CP-EP, bad cases might give really bad solutions, maybe even 16 slices. For example, in this case, AdJX. So that was a really bad case for CP-EP, and it ended up being 16 slices, which sometimes is the whole solve for some lucky cases, so that's pretty bad. With this 2-alg PBL method, the worst PBL is only 10 slices, and 10 slices is actually the optimal way to solve the worst cases. So, for example this one, I'll do something like this. That's 10 slices, and that's actually optimal. Not only are the worst cases better, slice count on average also goes down. Here's some rough estimates. On average, CP-EP takes around 12 or so slices. This PBL method takes around 9, and optimal takes around 7.5, I believe. Also, since every PBL is solved using 2 short PBLs, the whole PBL solutions in general should be pretty good in terms of finger tricks, because the short PBLs have pretty good finger tricks themselves. A lot of the current optimal PBLs, although they're not completely optimized yet today, they still contain a lot of unfriendly finger tricks like U2s, D2s, and algs, which is pretty annoying. This is mostly all avoided if you use smaller PBLs with nice finger tricks, like this method. Not only does this PBL method make bad cases less common, it also makes good cases much more common as well. If you memorize all the 70 short algorithms, there's actually a pretty good chance that you see at least one of them in an average. So for example, this one, this is a pretty simple 5-slicer, it goes like this. So if you just happen to get one of those 70 cases in your solve, which is actually pretty common because 70 over 970 is not that bad, you'll actually get a really good time. And it's also like kind of equivalent to like an EP skip or CP skip, which is pretty nice. Bad cases will also no longer be a problem, and you won't need to worry about being super unlucky with your PBL, as the worst cases are just 10 slices, which is not even that bad. Another concern I hear quite a lot is that pausing between the 2 algorithms might be an issue. However, with practice and techniques taught in this series, pausing between the 2 short algorithms is honestly not a big issue. Finally, another concern is recognition. This method of PBL makes it super easy to recognize what to do for all the cases, and the recognition is actually not too bad if you can predict parts of it during EO. So, do I recommend PBL? It depends. If you're not sub 12, there honestly isn't much of a reason to learn this method because it is quite complex and you're only saving a few slices. There are certainly much more things that can help you improve your times, like CSP. However, for those who are already sub 10 or sub 9 and want to move on to a new method, I think this is a pretty good one. It definitely is a lot of work to go through full PBL, but I believe it's worth it. Some people might choose to only learn parts of this PBL method, so for example, 2CP PBL and then wishing good U-perms and then not learn anything else. That does work, but I would recommend learning the whole thing, as it makes your solves consistent so you don't have to pause during CP, not knowing if you know the next PBL or not. For those of you who already know how to force double good U-perms and know how to do 2CP PBL, and you might be a bit hesitant about this method, I truly do believe PBL is better for the long run, and you'll actually notice that a lot of the techniques in my videos actually are extremely similar to 2CP PBL, and it's just like learning a few more algs. That's pretty much it, and everything else is pretty much the same as 2CP PBL. I really do think this method is the future, and I hope more people decide to learn it, because not that many people use it right now. I know Daniel Carna knows quite a few PBLs, and a few other people do a bit of it, but not too many people know it. So yeah, if you do want to learn this method, I have a 10-part series that you can watch, as well as several add-on videos on this topic. If you have any questions on this method, please do leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer as much as I can about PBL. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully some of you guys decide to learn PBL, and I'll see you guys in the next video.